It's starting to look like Black Panther 3 is going to be this massive return for mutants in the MCU, at least according to what some industry insiders are hinting at. There's a lot of chatter that Ryan Coogler really wants that to be a big part of the movie, and when you combine that with some other new information, there's just a bunch of stuff to unpack about this whole project. But before we get into all of that, there's just one thing I want to mention first. If you've been keeping up with this channel over the last couple of days, you might want to consider subscribing, because we usually get this kind of insider news before it hits the mainstream outlets. With that out of the way, let's actually talk about it. Insider Alex Perez over at the Cosmic Circus has been sharing a ton of new details about the MCU lately. And even though we just put out a video about the all-new Avengers Doomsday information, which we'll link to at the end of this, he's gone even further in the last couple of days. He started talking about the next saga and the films that are going to be in it, and we have a lot of new details to go over for Black Panther 3. We're talking about what's going on with the movie, the new T'Challa, and some of the ideas Ryan Coogler has about bringing in new characters. Let's face it, this is clearly shaping up to be the mutant saga, or at least that's what we're calling it for now. We're breaking down all these new Black Panther 3 details that are coming from a pretty trusted industry insider source. We'll look at what it all means for the introduction of the new T'Challa, which might be happening sooner than we think, and we'll get into exactly which mutant we think they're talking about when they say Coogler wants to put them in the movie. But first, if you haven't already, I'd kindly invite you to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel and it's completely free. Plus, if you do that and leave a comment down below, it'll automatically enter you for the giveaways, if you're interested in that. Stick around to the end of the video because we'll get into all that giveaway stuff again. So these new Black Panther 3 details are coming from Alex Perez. He and the editor-in-chief over at Cosmic Circus, Lizzie Hill, have been a cornerstone of the Marvel Scoop game for as long as I can remember doing this channel. And so, even though no scooper has a perfect track record, they're definitely right up there with the likes of Jeff Snyder and Daniel RPK in terms of the reputation they've built over the last half a decade. That being said, Alex Perez revealed some brand new details in his latest Q&A. He said that Prince T'Challa, who was introduced at the end of Wakanda Forever, is T'Challa II, the son of the original T'Challa, and going forward he'll just be called T'Challa. He followed that up by saying that in relation to Shuri, it's way too early to tell, but he's been told a few details about Black Panther 3 that involves a coming-of-age story with a heavy emphasis on legacy and what it means for this new T'Challa to inherit the title of Black Panther. There's also been some talk about Nakia not wanting T'Challa to become the Black Panther or inherit the throne at all. Then he said something else that's really interesting. There are some things he can't fully disclose yet, but Ryan Coogler wants to incorporate several themes into his next installment, including supernatural connections to the astral plane and mutants, and he specifically mentioned that it's not just about Namor. Now, all of this news is coming at a really interesting time, because as far as Black Panther's introduction goes, we're all pretty sure that's lined up for Avengers Secret Wars. All the most recent updates point to that being the big moment where we see Mahershala Ali's Blade for the first time, or see Sadie Sink's Jean Grey for a second time, or maybe even new X-Men characters. Marvel Studios is making that movie the big reboot, and we're pretty sure Damson Idris already has the role. We've covered it here on the channel, and I'll make sure my editor finds it and puts it in the description. But there's this video of Damson Idris approaching a restaurant, and someone walks up to him and asks him to sign what looks like a Black Panther mask or a comic book. He signs it, and the guy says, "Congratulations on the Black Panther role," and he doesn't say no. Now look, celebrities don't owe anyone any answers, so that doesn't for sure mean he's Black Panther. But as we said in that video, signing a Black Panther prop or comic and not actually being the character would be pretty wild, and I just don't think he'd do that. He's been asked about it before, and even though he's played super coy, concept art that wasn't even from Marvel had him in the Black Panther costume. All of this is to say that we believe the casting of T'Challa probably has either happened, is close to happening, or has already happened, because he'll be in Secret Wars, which is filming right now this year. So to me, the most interesting part of all this is trying to figure out how they're going to explore a coming-of-age story and the theme of inheriting the Black Panther mantle. If this character has already gone through being Black Panther at the end of the multiverse saga, then wearing the mantle and fighting against Doom alongside the other heroes, it feels like the coming-of-age story would have already happened. That experience would probably be what makes him come of age. Now, that isn't to say that Marvel Studios might go in a different direction. With the most recent report about there being an Illuminati team that won't be called the Illuminati, there could be a Black Panther on that squad, one that they want to use through Avengers Secret Wars, and then allow Ryan Coogler to explore the whole coming-of-age story in his movie. But as we've just said, and what we're maintaining here on the channel based on the facts, that would kind of be the opposite of doing the big reboot and bringing everyone together for the first time in Secret Wars. So there are definitely some nuances here and some interesting threads for what Ryan Coogler will have left to explore if we do have T'Challa II leading the Avengers in a way similar to the comics. For some of the more casual fans who might be watching this and aren't familiar with the comics, in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, it's T'Challa who grabs an Infinity Gauntlet off the dead Doctor Strange, alongside Namor, and uses that gauntlet to lead an army of Marvel zombies against God Emperor Doom and defeat him. He's the main protagonist in that story, and we've pretty much got every piece on the board right now to make that happen. Namor is in the mix, and Doctor Strange is probably not going to survive either of these Avengers films, although that doesn't mean he won't get a third movie, but we'll talk about that another time. Still, there's a really good chance they might be looking to use Black Panther in some sort of similar way, and what an amazing setup that would be for the MCU. And really, if that makes Ryan Coogler alter how much of a coming-of-age story he's doing, well, there are still plenty of ways to explore that, like exploring what it means to be a king and not just have the Black Panther mantle as a warrior. Maybe I need to do a video where we sort of rank who we think is going to die and why, because I really haven't stopped to think about where Shuri would be on that list. She's in Avengers Doomsday, we know that for sure, and she's going to be in Secret Wars, so there's a good chance her contract already has that in there. I'm not sure when and how the mantle will pass, but not using Black Panther in Secret Wars, when that's where you're truly introducing all the new characters, would be such a missed opportunity. I know that doesn't leave Ryan Coogler a lot to work with in terms of a coming-of-age story, but there are still plenty of ways they can do that. And that's that for today's video. Thank you so much for watching our video today, and we will see you in the next one. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to our channel to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments section down below.
Denzel Washington, still a possibility to appear in Black Panther 3.
That's a big with it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Black Panther 3, I mean, has there been conversations? Have you been writing roles in for? Is there a role specifically that you have in mind for Denzel?
All of that, bro. All of the above. Denzel is family at this point. And I've been trying to work with him since
day one.
Yeah. I think he's the greatest living actor. And in terms of like what he means to our culture, forget about it, man. I've been talking to him about this for a long time. I was surprised that when he mentioned it, but it's not like it's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said a truthful thing.
You can't debate that.
Yeah. Like there's no lies there.
You can't debate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we with it.
Yeah, 100%.